the mind of Elon Musk? One of the world's many mysteries. It's up there with the Bermuda Triangle and who built the pyramids. Only a mind like Elon could release an array of premium, unattainable cars and still break into the mainstream. Meanwhile, a formerly British, now Chinese manufacturer has done it the opposite way, starting with building affordable cars for the masses, and after stacking the cash, is now ready to have some fun. Have you figured out who it is yet? After their success with some more reasonably priced EVs, it looks like they've decided to switch things up and try a new approach. But I'm left wondering, is it all a marketing stunt, or do they know something that others don't? The brand I'm talking about is in fact MG, and they're coming for the Tesla Roadster. But don't think they're dropping their morals to take on Elon. It's set to be less than a quarter of the price of the Tesla. But can we take a budget car brand seriously with building a performance car when they've been known for being plagued with rust just a few years ago? Well, before we discuss this mystery competitor, let's recap on some of the ludicrous Tesla Roadster stats. Oh, and I'm excluding the rocket-powered version, which, let's face it, is staying in Elon's wet dreams. 3 electric motors, 1 at the front and 2 at the rear, a combined power output of around 1,000 kilowatts, or 1,340 horsepower. A 0 to 60 time of 1.9 seconds. That makes it one of the quickest production cars in the world. A top speed of a whopping 250 miles per hour, and a projected 500 miles per charged, and that's based on a 200 kilowatt hour battery pack. And last but not least, a price tag of $200,000. Ouch. So what about this mystery performance car that's set to take on the Tesla Roadster? Well, that will come in 2 powertrain formats, a single and dual motor options. The dual motor car will pack a 536 brake horsepower punch, a little under half than the Tesla. That power equates to a 0 to 60 sprint in double the time of the Tesla, in around 4 seconds. A top speed likely limited to a much more practical 124 miles per hour. A projected 1,000 kilometers per charge based on a 200 kilowatt hour battery pack. And an estimated price tag of under £40,000. So it looks like you're getting a car with half the power and range, but more importantly, a quarter of the price.
That's insane.
So I think it's about time we announce this mystery car that I'm talking about. The MG Cyberster. This year marks 100 years for MG, and in much of that time, small, affordable roadsters were the brand's bread and butter. And with this new announcement, it looks like the spirit of the iconic MGB will live on through this new, all-electric MG. Sports cars are the lifeblood of MG's DNA, and the Cyberster is a hugely exciting concept. Design boss Carl Gotham suggested that now MG has established itself with mainstream cars, it can afford to explore other segments. The Cyberster concept is a proper European roadster design. In fact, there's a good reason for that. It was actually designed right here in London. It's clear from looking at the Cyberster that this isn't just another Chinese live, laugh, love bubblegum ice cream car.
What the f is that?
MG has clearly taken design inspiration from some of the most iconic European sports cars. It has a similar compact design to the Mazda MX-5 and a low nose and sharp lines like another British classic, the Lotus Elise. But whilst comparisons can be made to some of the most successful European sports cars, the biggest comparisons can be made to the Tesla Roadster itself. In fact, the rear front quarter, well, it's almost identical. However, inside is where the Cyberster is much more to my taste than the Tesla. With about as much personality as a white good, the MG features a far more conventional sports car cabin. In fact, the stark contrast comparison between the two reminds me of sitting in the Audi e-tron GT straight after the Porsche Taycan, in which Porsche adopted to simplify their cabin, with Audi going for a much more tunnelled-in approach. The latter led to a much more engaging drive to feel, despite the fact that the performance figures were almost identical. My biggest disappointment comes to the change seemingly to the seats from the concept car. The heavily sculpted bucket seats, reminiscent of the BMW M performance cars, look to have been replaced in favour of some much more conventional leather versions. Well, we can't have it all, and especially not at this price tag. So what about the price? Well, no official claims have actually been made to this, but the Roadster will sit on the brand's current MG4 platform. That car starts from just under £27,000, and MG bosses state that they're expecting the up-and-coming sports car to disrupt the market with an appealing price tag. My guess, based on previous MG electric cars, will be around £40,000, which will price it quite nicely in the current market. Back to my favourite subject, power. So the figures might be less than half of the claimed Tesla supercars, but take that outrageous vehicle out of the picture for a second, and the MG is packing big power. But with big power comes big responsibility. You're going to need bigger brakes, stiffer structural rigidity, and even performance tyres, and all of this costs, well, cold hard cash. We can confidently trust the Chinese manufacturer to produce budget hatchbacks and SUVs, but they're entering into unknown territory with a performance sports car, something we know Tesla has proven to do. But with MG, I guess it's only time will tell. So sure, at this point in time, we're dazzled by the numbers, but the current success of MG is, I would argue, solely down to affordability. People are willing to gamble their hard-earned cash in exchange for value for money. So when it comes to a high-performance sports car, which is going to be pricey, and there's no guarantee that it will be able to handle the claimed power, are people going to be so quick to make the same gamble? These really are going to be the questions that MG will need to answer to tempt people away from Tesla. But when can we expect this showdown to take place? Well, talk about the battle of who launches first, with the MG rumoured to launch in 2024 and the Tesla Roadster being pushed back to at least the end of this year. They're two cars, very similar though very different in their own ways, that I'm itching to see come to life. And I sure as hell love backing an underdog. But let me level with you for a second, because when you hear that price tag of the Tesla Roadster, it sounds extortionate, and anything in comparison sounds like a bargain. But even a £40,000 electric Roadster, well, that's not really a bargain, but it is something to get excited about. It's something that we've not yet seen in the electric market, and hopefully it's going to get more people than ever interested in the electric revolution. But what do you guys think of both of these cars? Do you think that either of them are going to make it into production? And when they do, I wonder if those figures really are going to be so impressive. Make sure you get involved and comment down below.